Hi friends, welcome back to Table Full of Joy. I'm Cheryl and happy Sunday. So we got home from church. I forgot to take something out for dinner. So we are gonna whip up something pretty quick. I was able to put a pound of ground beef in my cast iron skillet on low, get it thawed out so that I could get it chopped up fine. We're just gonna make a really quick potato and ground beef casserole. It's gonna go in the oven and we'll have some vegetables on the side. It'll be a really super easy dinner. Hubby is outside working in the garden right now, so I need to get something in the oven and get him fed fairly quickly. So this shouldn't take too long. Our potatoes are going to be sliced super, super thin, so they're not going to take a whole long time to cook in the oven. We have just a little bit of onion. We're going to go ahead and chop this up pretty fine. Get a nice fine dice on this onion. As all of you know, I am not an onion fan, so I like to have the onions sliced or diced really, really super small, just to give me that assurance that I'm going to be able to eat this and I'm not going to bite into a piece of onion and it's just going to ruin my day. So we are going to get onion chopped up real, real small, and then we're going to get this in our skillet. We're going to let this start cooking down a little bit. We're going to put in just a little bit of salt and some pepper. So we've got our onion going in here in our skillet. We're just going to get this stirred around a little bit. Let this start cooking down. I'm going to grab some salt. So we're going to put in a little bit of our Redmond's real salt. I am absolutely loving this salt. It is so good. The flavor is just amazing. Oh, it already smells good. All right, so we're going to put in a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. Not too much. My hubby likes a lot of pepper, but he can always add pepper to his, and I'm going to not do as much. He can always add it on his. We're going to put in a little bit of oregano. And I have a little bit of, you can get any kind of urban onion seasoning. This is just a Pampered Chef one that I have, but you can use any urban onion seasoning that you can get at your grocery store. So we're going to put in, let's do 2 teaspoons of an urban onion seasoning of your choice, whatever brand you like to use. So we're going to get this mixed in here. So we're going to make a kind of a simple, kind of a cream sauce. This is going to be kind of like a scalloped potato, but with ground beef in it. And like I said, then we will just do veggies on the side with it. So I'm going to get some, these cloves of garlic sometimes are so hard to get out. All right, so we have our garlic press. We're going to put in a little bit of fresh garlic over here. That was a fat head of garlic. A lot came out of that one. All right, so we're going to add one more. Get one more clove of garlic put in here. So on Sundays, like I said, we usually eat as soon as we get home because we don't eat first thing in the morning before we go to church. So we're usually ready for food by the time we get home from church. But this morning, our schedule at church was a little bit off because of New Year's. And so we just kind of running late this morning, didn't really get things organized like I should have so that we could get something out and have it ready for when we got home, but totally gonna be fine. He's out working in the garden, which is great. Okay, this smells amazing. All right, so I have partial cube of cream cheese. This is probably about, I'm gonna say probably about an ounce, ounce and a half. So we're gonna put that in and let that slowly start to melt into our ground beef. We're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream. Yum. Let's face it, heavy cream makes everything better. So we're gonna mix this around. We're gonna get our cream cheese mixed in here. And I am going to make up a little bit of beef broth. because I want to have a little more of a sauce than what this is going to give me. So we're going to mash our cream cheese around in here real quick. And then we're going to mix up just a little bit of beef broth so that we can have a little bit of a creamier type sauce for this. We have a cup of hot water. We're going to put in about a teaspoon of our better than bouillon. I'm going to give this a stir. And we probably will add a little bit more cream to our meat mixture after we put this broth in there. I just want to get, I wanted to get the cream cheese and everything melted into this ground beef. So let's see if we've got our, all right. I'm going to grab this and we're going to pour just a little bit of this in because we want to get this diluted down just a hair so that we have a nice good creamy sauce that's going to go on our potatoes. We're going to thinly slice those and it's all going to get layered into a casserole dish and it's going to go into the oven and it's going to bake. This looks good. Let's turn our heat up just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of our broth. So that's a cup of broth or a cup of hot water with a teaspoon of your better than bouillon beef broth concentrate in it, however you want to do it. So we're gonna let this come up to a simmer. We're probably gonna add just a little bit more heavy cream to this after it starts to simmer. We want it to thicken up just a hair. And this is going to be super tasty. Let me grab a clean spoon. I want to just taste this sauce for seasoning. Make sure that we're on point with our flavor. That's going to be super good. That has good flavor. Super happy with that. So we're just going to let that come to a simmer. And we're going to start slicing our potatoes. We need to get one layer of our potatoes in our Dutch oven or in our baking dish while this comes to a simmer. And like I said, we probably will add a little bit more cream to this before we actually put it on the potatoes and get everything all ready for the oven. All right, so we have our cast iron casserole pan right here. We're going to give it a spray with our avocado spray real quick. I just want to make sure nothing sticks to this. All right, so we're going to slice our potatoes. Like I said, we're going to get them fairly thin. I'm using a mandolin. If you've never used a mandolin before, be very, very careful. It's a very sharp blade. They do come with a guard. I know I should be using it, but I don't always. Right now I can't seem to find the guard for it, but it's going to be fine. So we are going to do, I believe we're on number 2. So we're going to go with the 2 setting. I'm going to slice 2 potatoes right now. If I have another potato over here. I'm not going to peel it because I don't want to waste it if I don't need to. So we are going to hold off and just do these 2 potatoes and see where we're at with our layering. We want to make sure we have plenty of potatoes, but I don't want to do too many because I don't want to have the potato peeled and sliced with nothing to do with it. I don't want to waste a potato. So we're just going to go do 2 potatoes for right now. We're going to get these layered. You want these in a single layer. Don't pile them on top of each other. If they overlap just a hair, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But you do want to make sure that you've got them evenly spaced in your pan. Okay, so it looks like we got 1 potato on the bottom, almost a full potato. We're gonna give our sauce a quick little stir. Get this all. So I did add another ounce of cream cheese. I thought it needed another little bit of cream cheese in it. So I added a little bit more, and this is looking super good. So I think we are gonna go ahead and call it good here. I don't think we need to add any more heavy cream. It looks like it's got a good consistency to it. So we have our heat turned off. So let's go ahead and slice the second potato so that we can bring our pan over here and work right here from our board. My husband loves scallop potatoes, so any way I can do scallop potatoes for him makes him super happy. So I am gonna surprise him. Like I said, he is out working in our garden, which I am super excited about. I'm excited to share with you guys the plan that we have coming up for our garden for this next year. It's gonna be super exciting. All the things that we're gonna grow in it are gonna be super fun. So we're gonna bring our cast iron skillet over here. We're gonna set this down so we have our sauce. I need a different spoon. So we're gonna grab an actual spoon that I can scoop the sauce out with. And we are gonna put some of this beautiful sauce right in our, I'm gonna move this over just a little bit. We're gonna lay this on right on top of our potatoes. Get some of that down. I think we will probably have enough potatoes and sauce and cheese to do 3 layers of this. So we're gonna do one more ladle full right here. Make sure we have good coverage on our potatoes. Now we're gonna come in with the cheese, and I just dropped my spoon. We are going to come in with some cheese right on top of these. This is just a Colby Jack shredded mixture cheese. We're just going to put a little bit of that on here. And then we are going to do our second layer of potatoes. And I think we actually will use this third potato. Just looking at our potato coverage, I think we are going to use that one, but we're going to see. Let's do our next layer of potatoes. This is almost kind of like a potato lasagna, kind of. This is going to be super tasty after he comes in from working outside in the garden. These potatoes were a little bit bigger, so we are going to get a little more coverage, but I still think we're going to use our third potato on here. All right, so we're gonna do another layer of our sauce, and then we'll do another layer of cheese. We'll do our last layer of potatoes, our last layer of sauce. We want our last layer of sauce to be a little bit more substantial than the ones that go in the middle, because we need to cover the whole top with our sauce. So we end up with our potatoes fully covered on the top, because if they're not fully covered on the top, they're gonna have a hard time cooking. So we need to make sure that we have them covered all the way. So let's give it another layer of cheese. You know, I always find it fun to challenge myself sometimes when I come home and I'm like, you know, I'm not going to the store until tomorrow, and I just need to find something that I can make for dinner and not have to run to the grocery store. So that is always fun for me, to challenge myself to be able to do that. It challenges me and makes me use up the things that we have so that we're not buying more stuff that we don't need. So that always is, I don't know about you, but it's fun for me. Some people find it stressful when they have to figure out what to eat. All right, so we have our peeler. We're just gonna peel our last potato real quick so we can get it sliced up and get it on top. Like I said, this is gonna be our last layer of potato, so we can go a little bit heavier on that last layer, and we're gonna use the rest of our sauce so that everything is coated really, really well in our sauce, and we're ready to bake this. All right, so our last potato. Let's give this a slice real quick. Move our spoon out of the way. We're still on number 2. on our dial for our slicer for thickness. And I imagine that this thickness with 3 layers in this pan, it's probably gonna bake about 45 minutes, pretty close. And I'm glad that we were able to do that without slicing my finger off, without having the guard, but we did it. Okay, let's get our potatoes on here. Get all of this covered. I am a potato girl. I love potatoes. Potatoes were my favorite food growing up. I loved pasta, but potatoes were my absolute go-to thing. I loved, my grandmother used to make me the hash brown potatoes, you know, the big ones. She shred the hash browns, and yeah. So when I was sick, that was one thing that she always made for me. It was my absolute favorite thing in the world. So I am definitely a potato girl, and if I can have potatoes and cheese together, yes, I'm in heaven. I just hope when I get to heaven that there is plenty of potatoes and cheese. That's just me. I can't go without cheese. I don't think I could ever be a vegetarian. I would probably struggle with being a vegan. I don't think that I could do that, even though I don't, I mean, I love meat, but it's not something that, I mean, I could eat things without meat very easily. It wouldn't be an issue, but I definitely cannot do without dairy. I love cheese and ice cream and all the things. I am just a huge dairy girl. All right, so we're gonna finish getting the rest of our sauce mixture, covered all of our potatoes. I think we have just enough sauce. That was just the right amount. It was perfect with our 2 ounces of cream cheese and our probably a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of heavy cream that we put in it. So let's get this scraped out. I don't want to waste any of this beautiful sauce. We have a couple little spots that need some sauce on them. Let's get this covered. This looks super, super good. Excuse me, I'm getting pepper in my face. All right, so we're gonna do one last layer of cheese right on top of the rest of this. This is gonna be so, so good. And what I love about this is gonna give me dinner for tomorrow. And anytime I can make something and have leftovers for at least a day is amazing for me. That is perfect, because as much as I love to cook, I love to be able to know that I have the option of having leftovers, that I don't have to cook if I don't want to. I'm usually working on editing videos, and so when I have an opportunity to not have to cook and I have the option of having a leftover, I am excited about that. All right, so we have our potatoes with our sauce and our cheese, and this is going to go in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. It's going to get covered with foil because we need our potatoes to cook all the way through. So we need to make sure that the heat is staying inside our pan, not escaping. We have our oven preheated to 350 degrees. So we're gonna stick this in our oven and we are going to let this bake for 40 to 45 minutes until everything is nice and bubbly, our cheese is melted, and our potatoes are tender to a knife. You want them to be really, really tender and soft. You don't want any raw potatoes in your casserole. So we'll let that bake. All right, friends, our potato casserole just came out of the oven. It is looking and smelling amazing. Bring this over so you guys can check this out. This looks super, super good. So excited to eat this. So we're gonna give this a quick little taste. Get some of our potato, some of our sauce, some of our cheese. This is just you. If you could smell what this kitchen smells like right now, you would just be in absolute heaven. I'm excited about the food that's going to be in heaven. How about you? That just excites me. I can't wait to see those big banquet tables filled with amazing food that we get to sit together and enjoy. That's going to be so exciting. But for right now, we're going to give a taste of this one. That is so good. That is perfect. Nice, hot casserole dish. On kind of a cool day. We have a little sun here, but it's a little bit cool. So this can be perfect. I'm excited to eat this when my husband gets in here. He should be in here in a few minutes, and we're going to sit down and eat dinner. How we're going to close out our New Year's Day. We're going to sit down and watch a movie together, and that's just going to be the way we're going to spend the rest of our New Year's Day. We started it off the best way we possibly could with our church family this morning. Continental breakfast, amazing worship time. The sermon was fantastic. It was so good. Exactly what I needed to hear this morning to get myself motivated for this year. I'm excited about what we have coming up on this channel this year. God's really laid so many things on my heart this year to share with you guys. I'm excited for some testimonies that are going to come up that are just going to be fantastic. I can't wait to hear those people share their testimonies with me and with all of you guys. Get to have them come in my kitchen and cook with me. That's going to be exciting. We have several other things that are coming up that I can't wait to share with you guys. We'll tell you guys about those things in a little while. Don't want to give you too many spoilers. We want you guys to be surprised when we start revealing some of the things that we have coming up. But for today, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in my kitchen today. It means so much to me that you would spend your time with me on my channel, looking at the things that I'm cooking. I hope that you like this recipe. If you found some value in this recipe and the information that I shared in this video, I would really appreciate if you give me my channel a thumbs up and a like. That would really help me out. I still have food in my mouth. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me. It means so much to me that you guys spend time with me, and I love hanging out with you guys. I love that we're building this community together where we can come, we can cook together, we can learn something new, we can share recipes, and most of all, we can share the love of Jesus together. And that is the most important thing that we need to remember. So as we go forward into this new year, just remember that God loves you and he has a plan for your life. You just have to listen for his voice. Have a great day, friends.